Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge. Hey, we're back at it. Today's episode will definitely be an interesting one. For sure. But before we dive into it, a couple of housekeeping just updates for the channel, because people do reach out, obviously patrons, but then also subscribers and just, people in the whiskey community as a whole. So in terms of barrel picks, really excited. This is a special week. We are picking this week, literally this week, we're doing a barrel pick with River Roots, our first River Roots barrel pick. So really excited for that one. And then next week, myself and I think it's like 6 or 7 patrons are going down to Virginia. We're doing a barrel pick with the Reveries. So the Reveries, obviously through Shared Pour, our good friend over at Jay West. So really excited for that. And then we have others planned for the rest of the year as well. But these are our next two. So River Roots and Reverie. So really excited for our judge community. All right. So let me kind of give you the backstory. So for my day job, which is obviously not whiskey, I travel often, but in the evening, right, there's always, the whiskey community is very large, right? So a lot of patrons and just friends of mine are in various different cities and states and so forth. So whenever I'm traveling for work, I always try to catch up with my whiskey friends in the evening during my time. So over the last, I would say 6 to 9 months, this has been a very common theme, right? And not me starting the conversation, but people would say, hey, Judge, I really feel like these brands are kind of falling off, or they need to change, or X, Y, and Z. And it happens, I'm not talking about like maybe every other whiskey event. It happens at every whiskey event, right? Because you're talking about whiskey. And these brands come up over and over and over and over. So again, this is not the judge. I'm just, if you think about it, it's great commentary. And I was like, let me make an episode out of it. I will say I do agree with the majority of the comments that were shared with me, even from my most recent event that I was at last week, and then all the other ones I had in like the last 6 to 7 months. So, topic for today's episode: 3 brands that probably need to reinvent themselves, right? 3 brands that are just kind of falling off, and I think the whiskey community is giving their feedback, saying that they really think that these brands need to kind of reinvent themselves a little bit. Fair? All right. So I'm going to go not in order in terms of like number 1 needs to reinvent themselves the most. I'm just kind of giving you 3. Fair? All right. So this one has come up a lot in my whiskey community, like within my Discord, within my patrons. But honestly, even the whiskey event I was at this week itself down in Florida, it came up without me even bringing it up, right? Again, without me bringing it up. This is not the judge hating on these brands. All 3 of these brands, I truly think they are good people. I like the people behind the brands, and I like a lot of their whiskey as a whole, but I do agree with the feedback that they need to change a little bit. Fair? All right. So I want to give love to the brands, to say this is not a brand bashing exercise. That is not the case. All right. So number one, this has come up a lot, and I mean a lot. Wow. Oh boy. Out of good old Nevada, Frey Ranch. So I love Frey Ranch. This is a single barrel I got from Total Wine when I was out in Nevada. A long time ago, of course, a long time ago. But Frey Ranch is coming up a lot lately. A lot of people are saying that they feel like Frey Ranch varies too much batch to batch, right? And I get it. Some single barrels are going to be better than others. Everyone understands that. We all do. But there's almost like it's too much variation. Like one could be great, and the next barrel could be absolutely horrible. And again, right, these are the experiences from a lot of different people in the whiskey community. I will say I've tried a lot of different single barrels, and I actually do agree, right? This one in particular is fantastic, right? I even did a barrel pick with Frey Ranch a few years ago, and that barrel was amazing. But in the last 6, 7 months, I've had a lot of other pours from Frey Ranch, other single barrels that were honestly not good. So this is one where, again, the whiskey community is saying, Frey Ranch, your whiskey is varying too much, batch by batch, or single barrel by single barrel, or release by release, right? There's just too much variation in your whiskey, and it's making it very difficult for the average whiskey consumer to trust your brand, right? People love Frey Ranch. I love Colby, his lovely wife. Great people. This is not about the people. This is about the whiskey and the consistency of the quality of the whiskey. So number 1 on this list is Frey Ranch. After that, I need a drink. Cheers. See, from this batch, this single barrel, great. But others, whoo, there are some bad ones out there, and a good number, unfortunately. All right. Number 2 brand that really needs to kind of reinvent itself. This one has also come up a lot. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's funny when you think back, I'm going back here, maybe 3.5, 4 years ago, this was probably one of the hottest NDPs, so non-distilling producers, or a organization who sources barrels, blends them together, sometimes single barrels, but blends them and puts them out. So 3.5, 4 years ago, this brand was hot as fire. I mean, people are going crazy. They were buying them left and right. It wasn't sitting on shelves. It was all over secondary. Now, not so much. Maybe part of it is because the whiskey market is starting to kind of flatten out, right? I think that's a fair statement. The whiskey market is definitely flattening out, especially as people know what they like in terms of like what aligns with their palate. I think that is a big part of the reason why some of this has changed for this brand. But the second brand that probably needs to reinvent themselves, and I'm going to give you the feedback that a lot of people share with me. Number 2, none other than Smoke Wagon. So Smoke Wagon has come up a lot. A lot of people feel like Smoke Wagon, they need to be a bit more diverse in their product suite. And when I say that, they obviously have like this one here, which is a uncut, unfiltered. They have some single barrels with the white label on the inside, and those are pretty good. Some of those can be pretty good, but people are looking for more, I guess, like variation. Like number 1, maybe like different like finishes. They're really looking for Smoke Wagon to be more in your face with like marketing, different releases, different batches. Not tons, not hundreds, right? But at least a few more than what they put out today. That is the feedback from the whiskey community as a whole. That is number 2. All right. Judge, what is the third and final brand that needs to reinvent themselves? Oh, man. So this one as well. This is a brand, I really like them a lot. I really do. I like a lot of their whiskey, actually. But the feedback that people gave when they said, Judge, I really feel like brand X needs to change it up a little bit. And honestly, this came up again this past week. It came up actually 2 weeks ago when I was traveling as well. It came up then as well. So number 3, I'm gonna explain the reason why. And again, I love this brand. Number 3, Barrell Bourbon. Yes, Barrell Bourbon came up. So kind of like the opposite of Smoke Wagon, right? Where Smoke Wagon needs to have like a few more product lines. Barrell Bourbon has way too many. Way too many. I'm trying to go off memory here. Barrell Bourbon has Foundation. They have their batch releases, right? 33, 4, 5, 6. They have the black label, the gray label, the gold label. They have their cast finishing, right? And all of those have like sub brands within them. They have so many damn releases. It's actually kind of hard to figure out what is coming out, what's new, and when you go to their website, just to kind of find it is actually somewhat challenging. So Barrell Bourbon, scale it back a little bit. You have too much. Maybe you guys should, I don't know, partner with Smoke Wagon and try to figure out like the proper number of products to actually put out. Too few, too many, literally. But I like Barrell Bourbon as a whole. But whiskey people are saying, Judge, I wonder if the quality of their whiskey would be better if they had less stuff under their sub brands, right? Like less. Do you really need the gold, the black, the gray, the cash finishing? Do you need all of those and then having different ones underneath it? They have, like someone said, I think like 40 something different like sub products. Now that's a lot, right? They have only a few. They have like almost like 50. That's a lot. That is a lot. And I'm including the batches as well, right? That's a lot. So maybe just change it up a little bit. Just change it a little bit. Make it a little bit more user-friendly so people can say, Barrell Bourbon, I really like product X. And that's the one that you may want. Versus one of 50 or probably up to 75 now. Who even knows? Hey friends, as we say in this courtroom, peace, cheers, salute. Take care. See you guys.